dead. I've got 1 HP. Come here. Oh my god. Oh, made that mistake. Okay, well, that was a little cocky. I was gonna melee him and then he walked out. Kind of face through a wall. Yeah. Yep, it did seem like he phased through this wall, didn't it? Or maybe clipped through the door. Where is she? I'm Batman. Oh, wait, I was supposed to do that before I did the jump. Rusty. I'm rusty. That's my bad. Where is she? Where is Rachel? Where is she? Oh, I whiffed. Oh my god. I do have 2 blacked out arms. Sukablet. It fixed the transition bug? No. No, you can still do it. You just gotta like Alt F4 the second it starts to fade to black or something like that. There's ways to do it. They all they did with the fix was make it to where if you don't do it at the right time, it'll ask you to reconnect. But now if you do actually bug, which was what the mechanic was in place to prevent in the first place, was now if you do actually bug during transit, lose your kit. And so previously, if you bug during transit, you had the option to Alt F4 and it just send you back to your stash with your kit. So you didn't lose your kit, but you lost all the XP. But then people were Alt F4ing in transit to use as an extra extract. And BSG went to fix it, but instead of actually fixing it, because you can still do it, you just have to Alt F4 at the right time now. There's a smaller window to Alt F4, but instead of like fixing it, it's still able to be done, and it just fucks over anyone that actually bugs. So I'm not a fan of that patch or that fix. I called it before they even did it. I said if people keep complaining about it and pressuring them into patching it, they're gonna fuck it up. Surprise! Why is your Charlotte so poor? That's a good question. You would think being a smuggler, he would have some money. I don't know if he's a drug smuggler or a person smuggler. I can't remember the lore. His guards are corrupt policemen, and Rashala is a smuggler. I don't remember what he smuggled. Is Tarkov a game that you still enjoy playing, slash would play off stream, or has it become more of a job? I don't play off stream. I've not ever played Tarkov off stream. I play too much on stream. Like if I played Tarkov off stream as well, that would be that'd be too much Tarkov, right? But no, I still very much so enjoy Tarkov. Yes. Do I enjoy it as much as I once did? No. That would be insane. I don't know if I'll ever enjoy a game as much as I enjoyed Tarkov when I first started. This had me hooked, dude. Imposter killer. That's hilarious, dude. And he's got the killer tracksuit. That's hilarious. An actual role player, yeah. That's awesome. What about the dude outside? He had a shotgun. He's doing setup. There's another dude outside that I want to go kill that sounded like he had a suppressed HK. I'm going to loot mark him first. Any tips how to get EOD clothing? Relog. If you've only logged in once, you gotta relog. You gotta do the patch and then log in, then exit the game and log in again. You don't have to like type your password and get in. You just gotta go back to the launcher. What part Tarkov makes you enjoy the game that much? I mean, it's a few different things. The risk reward. I like the spoils going to the victor. And, you know, going in, fighting over the loot. And then the spoils going to the victor. I think that's my favorite part. I'm a loot goblin. I want to go in and loot. And I want to keep the loot, right? And if I have to beat another player to be able to keep that loot, then that makes it even better. Or that is the piece of the equation, because otherwise like PvE I'd have as much fun on because it has loot, but PvE doesn't have the competition, the human element, the human competition, right? And so I like the fighting over the loot and the spoils going to the victor. And then another aspect is that I can continuously play. Oh. And looted. I like that I can continuously play and play and play and play, and I'm always learning something new. Continuously getting better. And so it's which at this point it's all, you know, macro things. You know, little peak angles or you know, the small game details that would only make a difference in that one situation, and you're going to encounter that situation, you know, again in like 700 raids from now.
Bradfordson.
I couldn't tell if that was scav or not. Was. But it's also another thing is that there's no one way that you have to play the game to find success. I think that's fun. I like that. Yeah, it's somewhat of an sandbox type FPS where you could go in quests, you could be a PvPer, you could be a looter, you could be a scaver, you could be a memer or a role player or You could try and snipe. You could try to melee. You could try to do pistols, or like there's all these different ways to play the game. And then if you swap up your own objective, like my first wipe, I didn't care about getting Kappa. I didn't want to quest. I was like, okay, I started 2 months into wipe, or a month and a half into wipe. I want to just do PvP and learn all the PvP mechanics. I want to full send PvP. And so that's what I did. I ended with like 10,000 PMC kills, and all I did was push PvP. That's all I did. Different time back then, because 9 out of 10 of the players you ran into were Timmies, new to the game, learning the game still. This was just when it first hit mass popularity. So the chances of running into someone that had several thousand hours in the game was slim. And then the flea market, you could buy and sell absolutely everything on the flea market. There was no flea market restrictions. And so as soon as you got level 5, you could buy and sell everything and anything and everything. Another setup player. So yeah, it didn't make it where I didn't have to quest at all. I didn't even unlock Jaeger. I didn't play Woods once. My first wipe. Legitimately didn't play Woods once. All I did was play customs and labs. Played reserve like a couple times, few times. Well, no, I played more than a couple, but percentage wise, it was probably a couple percent of my overall map choice. Customs and labs. I'm dead. I've got 1 HP. I've got 0 HP. Unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie. Wild that Big Pipe was right there. Wild that Big Pipe was right there. I wonder if he was doing Punisher. Probably not. Level 54, there's no way. Because we saw his brothers dead over by dorms. I was so far away from dorms. That's insane. Big Pipe was there. I didn't even know Big Pipe could go there. Not gonna lie. I had no fucking clue. And not only did I not know Big Pipe was there, I was almost guaranteed certain that Big Pipe couldn't go there because I've tried to get them to go there. Learn something new every day. I'm telling you, learn something new every day. Still learning. There is a flare in the game that you can make the AI friendly. I'm dead. I've got 1 HP. Went back. I had the flare on me. I went back to where the goons were, shot the flare off, made friends with the goons, tried to get them to follow me all the way to the extract, ZB11. I couldn't get them to go past New Gas. I couldn't get them to pass. I couldn't get them to go past New Gas. They wouldn't go through the gate. They wouldn't go through the left side. I couldn't get them to go anywhere.